Welcome to Women of Worth. Wow, I'm Michelle Martin, and joining me in the studio, the women behind an event that I think if you're an entrepreneur, a mother, or you're just someone who's thought of a great business idea and you want to get together with a good friend and you want to take it off the ground, but you're not quite sure how to get to the next stage of getting your business idea funded. Well, this could be the show for you. We're going to find out about Crowdfundherlive and also how women can tap into the power of the crowd when it comes to getting their business ideas going. So it's my pleasure to say welcome now to Mouna Langendorf, founder of Woomentum. Julie Goldstein is from motherness.com, and Simin Kayhan is from Paper Lantern. That's a craft distiller of luxury liquors, and they're here to tell us more about how women in business can harness the power of the crowd. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, welcome.
Thanks for joining us. Now, when most people think of crowdfunding, they think of technology being used to tap a global community in order to allow an entrepreneur to raise funds. And this can be microfinancing, or it can be sky's the limit as long as a campaign runs. So tell me a little bit about Crowdfundherlive, because I understand this is not just an online event, this is also an offline event.
Yes, that's right. So Crowdfundherlive is taking crowdfunding offline. So the way we do it is we bring on board participants, female entrepreneurs, who have new ideas, inspiring businesses to pitch their business to a large audience offline, and get product validation, acquire brand ambassadors, and also raise money. The event runs for 2 hours, and the idea is to get them to be exposed to their potential customers and really get their ideas out there.
So just from the name itself, I can tell that it's targeted towards women. But this is the second time Crowdfundherlive is being run. And there's a difference this time in that Julie Goldstein from motherness.com is part of the organization for this. Julie, what does motherness.com bring to the event?
So motherness.com brings with its website, of course, all its mothers and users. And motherness.com is mainly about raising the awareness of the multiplicity of roles that women have, and finding ways to maximize their potential through the use of online tools, crowdfunding being one of them that I really believe can harness community and fit mothers quite well, especially when they're trying to integrate, and work on their work-life balance.
Yeah, and as Julie sits here, she is very obviously on her way to becoming a mother.
That's right.
How many more months to go, Julie?
Just 6-7 weeks.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a wow moment indeed. So thanks for being here. Tell me a little bit, Simin, about your experience. You were part of the, I suppose, it sounds like X Factor for entrepreneurs, this whole idea of what happens at Crowdfundherlive. So you were one of 4 businesses who were pitching to a panel the last time Crowdfundherlive was run. What did the whole experience do for you?
Yeah, exactly. X Factor, I think, is the right way to put it. We each had 5 to 7 minutes to describe our business for pitchers, and there was about 100 people in the audience, as well as 3 panelists who then gave us their feedback. Leading up to the event, it basically helped us prepare quite a bit before you have an idea and you know what you want to do. But in order to get ready for a pitch, you really have to hone in on what is unique about your company and what you're bringing to the table. So we were able to take our idea and we focused on what is the problem that we're solving, what is our story, what is Paper Lantern Distilling, and what are we trying to do. And in the end, we really were able to make a lot of advancements and success in terms of where we want to take the business. And Paper Lantern, after it really solidified for us, so we're producing luxury liquors and liqueurs for sale throughout Southeast Asia and rest of the world, and mainly focusing on Southeast Asian flavors, ingredients, looking at all the different fruits in Singapore and Southeast Asia, and spices. And it was great to see the enthusiasm of the crowd and the feedback of the crowd, and to see that, wow, okay, we really have a good idea and people are receptive to it. So
how did your pitch or marketing or product offering how did your company at all evolve from what you experienced at Crowdfundherlive? Was there a moment or an exchange in dialogue that was an aha moment for you?
I think it really was, what is your story and what is the problem that you're trying to solve? What are you bringing to this market that already has so many products out there? And for us, it was, it's the flavors and the ingredients of Southeast Asia. That's what we love, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're bringing to the table. So,
but presumably you would have thought of that before Crowdfundherlive.
Of course, but I think it helps to solidify your ideas as to what it is you're trying to do. But I think we also showed bottle samples. There were labels there, so we got a lot of feedback in terms of where we're taking, the branding and the design of the company. The panelists helped us quite a bit in terms of giving us some marketing ideas and target clientele as well.
So is it primarily feedback from the panel, or does the crowd get to participate as well? How interactive is this event?
Yeah, there is a Q&A session, so the audience get to ask questions, and some of the questions are addressed to the panel themselves, and some of the questions are to the respective participants. But of course, the session is very short. 2 hours, so it's not enough to take on too many questions. But yeah, we took enough.
Why did you choose an event that would run offline and then only for 2 hours? Because most people would think that the power of crowdfunding is that it uses technology over a long period of time, and that's why an individual who's giving may not have to give such a large amount to be able to make a difference because of that long window of time. So why specifically just 2 hours for this event?
Okay, so it's very difficult to make it a bit longer when we want to bring people face to face. So there's this really magic thing that happens in the room when people meet face to face. The audience was celebrating the participants that night. It was really all about them, the spotlight on them. They were the star. They worked very hard to arrive to the evening, and pitch their businesses. And also the panel, it was all about giving them useful feedback, giving them tips so that they take it away. So that was really it's something that you cannot bring online. And in a way, 2 hours is true, it's not enough, but it's a preparation potentially for an online campaign. And to take it for a longer period.
So this is the groundwork for the communication, for that video that you can then use on any other platform like Indiegogo, for example, right?
Well, absolutely, yeah. And Crowdfundherlive is launching its online platform. So eventually Crowdfundherlive offline events will also help the potential campaigners online to get on the site as well.
This sounds fun. This sounds like one of my favorite television programs, Dragon's Den Come Live, where entrepreneurs pitch, and then you hear the feedback. And some of the feedback on that show can be quite scathing. And as a creative person, I always think, if you have a young idea, it may not be a good idea to expose it to criticism that may not always be helpful or come from a good place. So what sort of feedback did you get for Paper Lantern?
Well, first of all, everybody was very positive. So there were very, very good comments, but everybody was very positive. The audience was very positive. So the biggest thing was just seeing everybody's face light up, and it's just seeing the nods in the audience is the first recognition that you get. But in addition, the panelists gave us a lot of ideas about feedback on marketing, about the Singapore market. So it really helped. And even though it was a 2-hour event, I have to say it does carry on. I still run into people and that say, oh, hey, I saw you pitch at the crowdfunding event, back in, in the first event. And so you still sort of have a little community that you are a part of, almost a mini celebrity of the people that were there. So it does carry on the effects for a while. So that was really lovely.
What is key to success in crowdfunding? Stay tuned. More when we come back.
Add to your wow factor with Michelle Martin in the Wow Club on 938 Live.
You're listening to Wow, a Women of Worth, and joining me, Mouna Langendorf from Woomentum, Julie Goldstein from motherness.com, and Simin Amis from Paper Lantern. We're finding out more about Crowdfundherlive and how women in business can harness the power of the crowd. So ladies, tell me, what's key, in your opinion, to success when it comes to crowdfunding, particularly for female entrepreneurs? You want to give it a stab, Julie?
Yes. So there are a few things that I think, are really well matched for women entrepreneurs and particularly for mothers. I've written an article on motherness.com about why it's important for mothers to think the way they do and why that's suitable for business as well. So I've made parallels with business. And one of the things, for instance, that is really important for mompreneurs is the fact that when they are running their families, essentially, and children, they don't do this alone. They do this with the power of many, and with their families and so on. And so the idea is that you should think in a similar way if you really want to run a business. You can't do it on your own, and you really need a crowd to reinforce what you do, and you can use specialists in particular areas to reinforce what you do and learn from this process. And I think that the flexibility that the entrepreneurial space offers is really, really important for a lot of women that are in this space where they're really trying to integrate their working roles and their family roles in particular.
How do you engage that crowd? Isn't that key to anyone trying to build a community as well? How do you, get the group together around you, unified around your business ideas?
Yeah, I think crowdfunding is about a crowd. So the preparation of the campaign is very important for a successful campaign. And if the person who is doing the campaign doesn't have followers or a community, and when I say followers, a crowd would take maybe 100 people at least. If you don't have that number, it's very, very difficult to succeed, because it's important to engage with the crowd, and it's important to engage with them as your potential customers, and tell them why you are supporting my business. I'm offering a problem. I'm offering a solution to a problem. I have a high level of innovativeness that I'm offering in my product. So you get really the community to engage with you and give you feedback. So the crowd is very, very important, and engaging with them is very important.
Was it daunting for you, Simin, looking out at this crowd, which is essentially a group of utter strangers, and giving them a reason to support Paper Lantern?
I think the moments leading up to it are a lot more nerve-wracking than actually getting up there, because people were very supportive and everybody wanted to listen. But I think the key to is you really have to prepare. You need to know. We had a slide presentation. Everyone had a slide presentation. You need to know those slides. You need to make sure you're prepared and there's a flow. Use a lot of images, which really helped. Not a lot, you're going to do the talking, but images to capture the audience, basically, so that they are looking at the slides, but they are listening to you. And be prepared.
Do you remember the first line of your pitch for our listeners?
I don't remember, but I'm sure we started with the introduction of what Paper Lantern was, and then the story of how we got here, and also smile and have fun. That's really important, because the audience will know if you're nervous. So you need to just take a deep breath, relax, and then it is your project. You know it inside and out. So once you get up there, I think the nervousness goes away, and you're out there presenting basically what you've been working on for months, if not years, at times. So
your advice to women out there thinking, I want to polish my pitch, ladies, what would you say to them? I want to polish my pitch. I want to make sure it's I want to give the crowd an idea to support my business. And the thing with crowdfunding is a lot of it happens online. This, of course, is an in-person sort of pitch. I'm sure there's some subtle differences between how you try to persuade in person and how you try to persuade a crowd to support your business. So, in terms of convincing and polishing a pitch, what advice would you have for listeners?
I think that it would be really important to, in the first instance, be able to draw a business plan of exactly what your business is about.
So it still comes down to the basics, yeah?
Get to the basics of what your business is about is really, really important. And I think that finding the right support to do this is really important, because I think that it's really, I think that pitching is not an easy thing to do. And so finding the right organizations to support you to create a pitch actually is also equally important, and partly why Mothernist is trying to support the whole idea of Woomentum's actions and
Right. When we come back, more about Crowdfundherlive, how to build a brand. How do you deal with the emotions of starting a business, or deal with the emotions before you pitch to the crowd? More details in just a while.
Add to your wow factor with Michelle Martin in the Wow Club on 938 Live.
Welcome to Wow, a Women of Worth. I'm Michelle Martin. We're finding out how women in business can harness the power of the crowd with an offline and online event. And the women behind it, Mouna Langendorf, who is founder of Woomentum, Julie Goldstein from mumpreneurs.com, Simin Kayhan is from Paper Lantern, and Mouna and Julie are the women behind Crowdfundherlive, which will happen on the 23rd of September from 7 to 9:30 p.m. It's an event that will help entrepreneurs pitch, learn to pitch, polish up their business plan, polish up their branding, their communications. They pitch in front of a live panel and a crowd of about 100, and they get some very useful advice on how to get their business off the ground. So we're finding it out a little bit more about the 4 businesses that will present at Crowdfundherlive. That's coming up in a week's time. Right,
Yes,
Mouna?
exactly. It's on Tuesday, 23rd, 7 p.m. And I'm very proud to announce that I have 4 wonderful, amazing, inspiring female entrepreneurs on board. The first one is Biker Chic, who is a fashion collection that sees function with style on all women riding motorbikes. The second one is Mosaic. It's a non-profit that helps abused childs go through their trauma using neuroscience.
Using what, sorry?
Neuroscience.
Neuroscience.
Neuroscience, yes.
Gosh, I already want to learn more about that as well. Biker chic sounds fantastic. Always a good idea to look chic on a bike. And using neuroscience to help children.
Yes.
Do we know
who got
anything more about
abused and
how?
go through their trauma. Yeah.
Is that a sort of a therapy?
Yes, therapy workshops.
Well, we will have them on our show eventually, I'm sure. So third on the list.
Yeah, the third one would be Knows Who Knows, who offers various certified olfactive workshops. So perfumes, everything dealing with the smell, recognition of smells and all. Really exciting. And Straits Canopy. Straits Canopy is a lifestyle brand that is a modern-day celebration of history and taking a fresh look at Peranakan motifs. And looking at Singapore's past with the present and provides unique items.
Fantastic. Ladies, why do you think crowdfunding suits the female psyche so well? Simin, you want to have a go at this?
Sure. I think one of the things that we talk about is the ability to multitask, and you definitely, and women are great multitaskers. So at crowdfunding, before you get up there, you need to, well, if this is what you're doing, you need to work on this and you need to get prepared. You get a lot of feedback. Mouna helps you quite a bit. So there is a lot of support and collaboration leading up to the event. And during the event, it really does help you to sort of hone in on your ideas and to receive that feedback from the audience and really receive the validation that this is a good idea and it can take back. And being an entrepreneur is lonely, and as a woman, as a mother, you have a lot of things going on. So it really does help to get up in front of a crowd and feel that energy and feel the momentum and know that, yes, even though I'm spending a lot of time on this, it's definitely worth it, and this is what I want to keep doing.
Mouna, I must ask you about the name Woomentum, which I find so delicious, and instantly I have so many references from that. Woomentum's approach to helping women through its services go beyond Crowdfundherlive as well, yes?
Yes, absolutely. So Woomentum is a crowdsourcing platform that helps women access expertise more easily and in a more affordable way, and also help unlock funding opportunities. So the way we do it is that we created Her Collab, which is a marketplace that matchmakes the needs of female startups and answer those needs by female professionals and freelancers, and Crowdfundherlive, which brings the audience to female startups and helps them.
Is Her Collab an app at all? Yet?
It is at the moment, it's a mobile-friendly website. It works on the web and on the mobile as well, but the app will be following soon.
An app would be great for this. So women professionals and women entrepreneurs, everyone within that whole network can help each other through this online platform, find each other more easily.
Absolutely, get advice, and it can involve free of charge advice. It can also involve paid advice should the female entrepreneur decide to hire an expert or a professional that would help her on working on her project.
Just earlier on, I think, Mouna, you mentioned that you left out the very important point you wanted to make on why Crowdfundherlive is so important in terms of the support it provides businesses at a particular stage on their life cycle, and that is the early stage. Why is this important?
Yeah, the early stage is really crucial. Many women, they have great ideas, and many make the move to start their businesses. But very often these businesses don't get to grow or die out very at early stage. And in most cases, it's due to two factors: is the lack of access to that expertise that you need, and very often it's very expensive to access to high-level consulting, and it's so collaborative work make it much more easier for these female entrepreneurs at that crucial stage to access.
For example, tell me a little bit about this relationship with Julie, this business relationship, which seemed to happen quite magically at the Hub.
Yes, I met Julie at the Hub, and we discussed about our respective businesses. And we realized that we both support women in different areas, but we complement each other so much. And that's how actually Julie approached me, and she said, "Yeah, let's do something together on Crowdfundherlive," and we designed the theme Integrated.
In terms of what Crowdfundherlive brings to women in business, what sort of support in particular do they need, Julie? Drawing from your background, your psychological background.
So I really think that women are at their best when they feel integrated, when they feel like they're doing whatever they're meant to be doing and not sort of restraining themselves in any way. And that comes from kind of having the courage, to step forward, but it also comes from maybe having people to back you in that, in that build-up of the courage to step forward. And so I think that is actually a really important aspect. Then there's also the fact that women are the number one users of social media and a lot of online tools today, right? So they are natural networkers. If you think of the soccer mom and the, business-attired woman all in one, women have this natural propensity to sort of harness their multiple roles and also to network, actually. They have it all in one. And I think that's why they are so suitable for an entrepreneurial space and for running their own businesses.
Oh, that's a great way of looking at it. What do you mean by this sense that women need to be integrated? Could you expand on that concept?
Well, often we feel quite, as mothers, and I can talk from my experience, I can feel quite split. I'm taking care of my family or my child, and suddenly I'm at work, and also, I have a relationship. Yeah, my husband, basically. And
I hear this a lot from stay-at-home mums who sometimes come on my show and tell me that when they give up their business card because they've decided to stay at home, it really feels like part of their personality is splintered off.
Yeah, that's right. And so I think that is a real challenge for a lot of mothers. So there is that conflict between the work, non-work kind of role, but also once women have jobs, it's not like it's the easiest thing to integrate with the other responsibilities, right? And so often maybe work can lag behind other responsibilities because a woman needs to or should be seen as, taking care of her family first or whatever it might be. And in Singapore, actually, there's 42% of women that are part of the workforce, right? But actually they are in the lower tiers. They're represented in the lower tiers of the kind of work that they take up. And so, there are a lot of myths that exist around women in the workspace and in the entrepreneurial space.
Yeah, I think primarily it is these myths that hold women back, where we talk about what holds women back from moving up the career chain or into positions of power, greater representation in terms of positions of power. I think it is these myths or these perceptions of what women can and should be able to be doing in different spheres of life. What do you think, ladies, are some of the challenges, the specific challenges of being female entrepreneurs, since you all are women in business?
And mothers.
And mothers. All mothers as well. Great. Mouna?
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to my mind, I mean, I'm always outnumbered wherever I go. So I come from an engineering background, so I really, wherever I went in my professional journey, I was always nearly the only one in the room. So that's one thing that is really difficult, a little bit lonely, because I have the feeling that female entrepreneurs or female professionals, they are living in a male-dominated environment, and so we are in a way doing business or working, playing rules that are not ours. So it's very difficult to really always trying to adjust and adjust. So it's a little bit, it can be a little bit intimidating sometimes and discouraging, and not being able to go full potential.
Is that why you describe Woomentum here as a movement where women can sort of set the rules for this business ecosystem to define productivity, efficiency, and success in their own ways? Does that make sense to you, Simin, in terms of your definition of productivity or success for your business, Paper Lantern, which sounds like it provides some really delicious liqueurs, Sichuan pepper gin. Sign me up for that. And more. So tell us more about, the sense of, being able to define your own, I suppose, criteria for productivity or efficiency or success in business.
I think, yeah, definitely. But for me, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working in a corporate environment, just being a female, you always have, and a mother, you always have the internal struggle of family versus work. So there's always guilt that comes around it. And being surrounded by women in an entrepreneur community where you do have this kind of support really is important. And I think I see that a lot in Singapore. There is a fantastic community for female entrepreneurs. So if you're feeling lonely, or you need help, groups like Woomentum or some other ones are very, very useful. So it really does help with the loneliness as well as getting through the day and finding productivity and efficiency tools.
Julie, how does Crowdfundherlive help solve some of the challenges of female entrepreneurs?
There are many ways in which Crowdfundherlive is really helpful for women entrepreneurs. I mean, in the first instance, it provides a sort of, you can call it like a safe haven for women to arrive kind of thing, because they're then able to explore some of their goals, some of their aspirations, to setting up their own business. So it's not necessarily that you have to have it all sussed out before you arrive. And then you get the guidance and the support that I think a lot of women are after. And then it combines, as we said before, the offline and the online tools, for you to go about running your business. And so I think that is really, really important, because as we said before, there's something about women being online that is actually, it covers pain points, actually, because it's
pain points or pain points?
Pain points.
Pain points.
Yes, it does. Because if women feel so torn between their family lives and their work life, sometimes what they seek is flexibility, right? Yeah. So having that understanding that you're after flexibility and you're with like-minded people that can understand that is really, really quite important. And it's cost-effective, like what we talked about before. Mm-hmm. And it covers a lot of pain points that actually Mothernist is sort of seeking to cover as well, which is about anonymity and comfort as well. As a woman is able to seek her own comfort around a business, around running a business, which I think is really essential.
This sounds fantastic. It sounds like my favorite television show, Come to Life, mixed with a rock concert for entrepreneurs. So, ladies, rock on. I wish you all the best for Crowdfundherlive, happening on 23rd September from 7 to 9:30 p.m. And who knows, we might follow the life cycle of some of the businesses that emerge from Crowdfundherlive. Julie Goldstein, Mouna Langendorf, and Simin Kayhan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Add to your wow factor with Michelle Martin in the Wow Club on 938 Live.